Sometimes to find the light, we must first touch the darkness.
Didn't we spend almost a year talking about the dangers of trying to do more Tolkien? Tolkien not based on actual written word action characters? How did that go?
The stone sees only downward.
Half of us just left.
But half stayed.
Bro, what are you talking about, man? Bro, I'm out, man.
Now, I don't mean to be a little rain cloud here, but I think caution is warranted on this one, much in the same way it was for Amazon's ill-fated, ill-advised Rings of Power. Now, if we cast our memories back to some of the things that were said about us back in February before the show came out, you remember they called us Morfydd Clark, who is, of course, nothing like the Gladriel we all know from Tolkien's world, but that Payne and McKay have turned her into, took to Instagram, something I'm not on, something I don't follow, and said, quote, "Anyone sending hate to my black castmates, get off my page, get off the internet, and shut up." Yeah. Now, there were several people who did that. Some of the stars of the show, some of the stars after the show came out did that. What was really troubling was that some of the stars of the original Jackson trilogy, one that I actually love, came out and called us names as well. That includes Elijah Woods. Well, what is Mr. Woods doing now that Warner Brothers has announced yet another trilogy? Is that what we're going to get? Of Tolkien? Something that they don't even know what they're going to make. It's just going to be Tolkien? It's going to be a lot of Tolkien? Probably updated for a modern audience. God help us. New Lord of the Rings movie plans see Elijah Wood cautiously optimistic. Well, Mr. Woods, are you just as cautious as you were before the Rings of Power came out and you called us all names? Now, according to the article, you can count Mr. Woods among those who are rooting for the new Lord of the Rings movies that are planned. They don't know what the hell they're going to do. They just announced it on an investor call. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't think they should do them. But that's just me. I think, if anything, they should do good streaming shows based on some of the selected tales, but give it to somebody who actually cares about Tolkien and not about ESG scores, diversity, representation, and inclusion. But yes, the toxic fragility, insert whatever bullshit term du jour, of the actual lore and intent and character that was from Tolkien. You know, the one that made all the money and won all the Academy Awards. Elijah Wood, obviously, who played Frodo Baggins in the movies, talked about what the new film might be in an interview for GQ magazine. He said, quote, "I'm fascinated and excited. I hope it's good. I'm surprised. I don't know why I'm surprised, because of course there would be more movies." We can read a lot into that statement, but we're not going to. We're just going to leave those words there. Now, if you think there's some special hidden meaning here, tell me in the comments section below. I don't know what to glean from that other than it's a non-committal response. As I mentioned, both this who the hell knows what the hell it is Lord of the Rings film is coming out, alongside with apparently an entire redo of J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter world, all the books, allegedly that's going to occur over a decade time span. Elijah Wood, speaking of the as yet undetermined Tolkien films that We don't even know what the hell they're going to be about, if they're even going to be about the books or not, or if the Embracer Group, who bought the rights to all this, are going to do a bunch of origin stories to retcon probably what happened in Jackson's films. All right, that's probably another video. Let's continue with what Elijah Wood said. Quote, obviously at the core of it is a desire to make a lot of money. It's not that a bunch of executives are like, let's make really awesome art. And again, not begrudging anybody, because of course it is commerce, but great art can come from commerce. So those two things are not mutually exclusive. Now, what do we get there? Yes, we got gobbledygook. That's somebody who started to say, you know what? Of course they're going to make this. They don't care about the quality. They just want to make money. Okay, I'm kind of okay with that. Generally, things make money if they're pretty decent quality or if there's a pretty good story. What is fascinating is that Elijah Wood went back and talked about Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings trilogy. He said, quote, but Jackson's Lord of the Rings didn't come out of that place. It came out of a passion for the books and wanting to see them realized. And I hope that that is ultimately what will drive everything forward with whatever these subsequent movies are. It's that simple, isn't it? Stay true to the source material. There's a whole lot of people on YouTube, probably just walking around in real life who don't even watch YouTube, who said the same thing. You know what we were called? Racists, misogynists. We're not going to do this again. You know what I'm talking about. Elijah Woods continues, I just hope it's the same motivating factor at its core. Whenever they hire a screenwriter or filmmaker, that it is with reverence for Tolkien's material and enthusiasm to explore it, unquote. I spent a year before The Rings of Power came up just saying that right there, and then raising concerns around the two knuckleheads that they hired who had no business anywhere near Tolkien.
Who is this mortal who speaks to me as if he has the slightest idea who I am?
And I was called a racist. I was shadow banned on YouTube. Here we are. Is the woke worm turning? I'll believe it when I see it. I just thought this was fascinating. Elijah Woods, who was all gung-ho rah-rah about Amazon's Rings of Power, is now saying, boy, gee, if Warner Brothers is going to make more Tolkien movies, then it should be based on the source material, and you need to hire a screenwriter and a director who respect and know and understand the source material. Weird world. I'm Salty Travel, and see, what do you think about all this? Is this going to bode well for the future? Are we going to start to get real entertainment based on the book instead of
daughter of the Golden House of Finarfin, commander of the northern armies of High King Gil-galad?
a list of ESG score, diversity, equity, and inclusion scores, and then preached to and shamed and ridiculed when we don't like the inferior product?
There is a tempest in me, and it will not be quelled by you.
Which is just like every other inferior product.
We both wish you'd never brought me here.
A few minutes later.
Thank you for bringing me here.
Let me know in the comments section below. You have a good day.